All right, everybody, welcome on back. Today we're going to be checking out Striving for Light Survival. This is a roguelite, bullet hell, bullet heaven. Now, this is pretty unique compared to the other ones that we've all played in the past. What makes it unique, you ask? Well, I'm happy to tell you that this game actually has a procedurally generated infinite skill tree. What do I mean by that? Well, we'll show you when we jump into it. But first things first, we need to pick our character. So as you can see here, we have 3 classes. You start with 2. I unlocked this old man earlier, but I'm a big fan of this ranger class here. So we're going to go with the ranger. You can take a melee weapon and a ranged weapon into every battle you go into. So let's take the flail for melee weapon. That's going to be less important. And I've unlocked all of these ranged weapons as well. You start with just the short sword, and you unlock all these other ones as you play through by accomplishing achievements. I started with this range weapon, and I've unlocked these other ones as I played through as well. I did pretty good with just the standard bow last time. It increases the number of projectiles we get, and I just want to flood the screen with projectiles. Then down below here, we unlock all of these skills. These are some of the skills that will show up in your procedurally generated skill tree as you level up and as you play through the game. So let's jump in and show you what this game has to offer. There's a ton of levels to play. You can see here, there's an absolute ton of levels. I've beaten the first 3 levels of the beach. I unlocked the basement and I unlocked the descent. Now to make sure I can actually show you guys how this skill tree plays out, we're gonna go and play map tier 3. That way this first impressions video isn't just me dying a bunch. But on map tier 3, we have 50% increased enemy spawn rate, 50% increased enemy HP, and some traps. Let's get it. All right, we move with the WASD. We can scroll in and out with the mouse wheel. I don't know why you'd want to scroll in. And it is auto attack. So you can see I have my flail going around and my bow shooting out too. Spacebar is dodge. That's going to be important because, ow, that's why right there. But we're going to be trying to do a range / dash build because you can get a bunch of skills that are going to give you the ability to have some pretty crazy dash abilities. Now, as you defeat enemies, they'll drop these light fragments. If you collect enough light fragments, you will get an elite enemy spawn. On the next run, you'll get elite enemies to spawn, and they will drop you these down here. These are different shards. So these shards are going to help you customize your randomly generated skill tree. Each run, the skill tree restarts. So here we are for our first go at the skill tree on this run. Since we're going to do a range class, I'm obviously going to want to pick something range. Oh, we could also take the wolf companion too. We could be a ranger with the wolf. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here and I'll show you how this works. So first things first, additional projectiles. We got lucky that spawned on our first node. We have 2 points to spend. We click that. Look what happens. Here comes the procedurally generated part. So as soon as you unlock a skill, more skills will pop onto your skill tree. So we got an extra projectile there. We have increased attack speed here and projectile multiplier. Well, we're obviously going to want to work towards that for our range build. I'm not going to go over each and every single one of these with you. We'll go over them as we come to them so the video is not an hour long. We have 1 more skill point to spend. Let's get ourselves a wolf companion. We will summon a permanent melee wolf companion and it's stackable. Perfect. We got our 2. Let's get back in here. So now you see we're shooting out 3 arrows. So that's where the multiple projectile comes up, and we got our little puppy here. Here's that elite. So since we picked up that fragment, this is the elite that spawned in. Oh, well, we almost got pinched there. Obviously, the gold glowy guy. Oh, that was a bad dodge. That was a bad dodge, Slognarg. Obviously, the gold glowy guy is going to be the elite, and he'll drop us those shards to help us customize our skill tree. Kind of think of like Path of Exile. We didn't get any to drop because we didn't kill the elite. So that's kind of a womp womp. Well, since we got our wolf companion right off the bat, luckily, let's empower our companion. Our companion will deal an additional 10 damage, and we'll also get projectile multiplier. Your projectiles are multiplied. Each multiplication stack adds a new shooting direction. I want to basically get to the point with this build where I have just a million projectiles across the screen. I think the enemy design in this game is pretty cool, actually. So these are giant clams. Each level, whether it's the basement, the beach, the descent, you name it, as you go through the levels, there's actually unique enemy design, which is pretty cool because a lot of these roguelike arena games, they're just pretty much the same enemy with a different color, but not here. They're actual unique enemy models. And then as we get to the elites and the bigger boss fights, they will actually have telegraphed attacks. So we got 7 light fragments, and we'll get another elite to spawn next turn. We only got 1 skill point here. So let's choose where we want to put this. We have revert shot. Your projectiles return to you. So they'll shoot out and come back. That could be good. Increase projectile damage. I definitely want to work my way to increase projectile damage. We did get a shard of change. So the shard of change gives us the power to switch out one of these nodes for a random roll. There's none I want to switch out at this exact moment, but I definitely want to get to the increased projectile damage. So we will pick Dodge Mastery. This is going to give us an additional dodge, and our dodge will recharge quicker. So we'll take that, and look, you see what happened? The skill tree expanded again with crit hit multipliers and increased movement speed. When these pop up, they're all randomly generated based off of the skills we chose on the character creation screen. Let's see if this extra damage is going to help us out at all. I know the extra dodge will. The 4 yellow pips down here on the bottom of the screen, that is our dodge. Those are the meters, how we can track what our dodge rate are. Obviously, these big red spinning things, those are bad news. We don't want to run into those. We want to avoid hitting those. But we want to pick up as many of these shards of light that we can, so we have the possibility to upgrade the skill tree more each turn. Okay, we're going to get 2 elites next round. We're going to take this projectile damage. Perfect. And what else did this spawn for us? Additional projectiles and projectile multiplier. I want to lead heavy. I mean heavy into the projectile build here. I feel like these two are pretty similar skills, but it shoots off in a new direction essentially. Okay, so this one will have one shoot off in a different direction. This one will just add additional projectile. Well, let's work our way over here. We'll pick up swirl. Your projectiles swirl around the shooting position. So I think those will just hover around us. We'll take that, and that's all we get for this turn. But oh, look, another additional projectile spawned over here, and increased area of effect spawned over here. We'll work our way to all these. Can I see my projectiles spinning around me? I don't see them spinning around me. Oh, there they go. I see them spinning now. I see them spinning now. All right. It looks like now they just spin instead of shooting straight out. That's interesting. I thought we would have additional projectiles hovering around us for the swirl ability. The swirl's an interesting mechanic. I'm not too sure about that one. We'll just have to get more projectiles out so we can have more floating around us. Nice. Okay, so for every 10 one of these light fragments you get, that's what's going to spawn your elites. So we got 20 light fragments. So we're going to get 2 elites on the next one. See how we want to play this out. Okay, we got another shard down here. This is the shard of conjunction. This shard will allow us to reforge. You see that blue line that pops up? Will allow us to basically skip over so we don't have to follow the skill tree exactly. We can create a new link. So since we got 2 projectile things over this way, let's work over that way. We're going to forge a new link here. I guess we'll take the critical hit on both these. That's not too bad. What is this? Blazing Trail? Once we get our projectiles upgraded, we'll work on maybe getting the Blazing Trail too. Oh, look at that. We can get another companion too. Oh, if we get this one, it'll summon 2 companions. So we'll have 2 wolves out there. Every time you load in to each new wave, there will be 1 heart on the ground for you. So you can try to save them up. But basically, if there's a heart on the ground and you're missing a heart, fill it up. The rounds are pretty short. Each run is only about 20 minutes, depending on how long it takes you to pick what you want on your skill tree. That's really what's going to add to the time, is how indecisive you are. All right, I'm pretty happy with the way we're going over here. So let's get another wolf companion, and you see more things spawn. So every time you click on something, you spawn more skills. And if I picked a bunch of melee skills on top of projectile skills, those would have a chance of spawning in here. So on that starting screen, you're definitely going to want to pick and choose what skills you take if you have a run in mind. I had a projectile run in mind, so that helped me narrow down which skills I wanted to take. You gain 1 additional projectile. Let's do it. Oh, look over here too. Scattering dodge. Your dodge throws 3 projectiles. I've done some pretty powerful dodge builds. So if we get another shard of conjunction, we'll just connect that to our wolf companion so we can pick up that shattering dodge. Okay, so you see this giant elite crab? He's throwing these like red diamond looking things around, and he's leaving red AoE attacks on the ground. I always recommend stacking up your dodge in this game, or else you're just gonna get stuck in a corner. Oh, we need a little more damage out. We're not getting these elites down quick enough. We did get 2 more skill trees, and we got another shard of change, but I feel like we don't really need it. But let's show you guys how the shard of change works. So this right now is increased movement speed. But if I use the shard of change, it's going to randomly re-roll whatever skill is here. And I re-rolled the blazing trail. So my dodge will lay a fire trail on the ground, and that's going to scale with my AoE. We don't need to take that. We're going to skip because we have this right here. I just wanted to show you how it worked. We're going to get projectile multiplier and scattering projectile. Your projectiles scatter in 2 new projectiles on enemy hit. Damage is equal to your projectile damage. So whenever we hit an enemy, that's going to spawn 2 new projectiles. And look, we got more additional projectiles over here, more additional over there. We basically just need a few more of these shards of conjunction. When they hit that enemy, they split off into even more. So as long as we don't keep taking unnecessary damage, we have our build starting to cook now. We're starting to cook a little bit here. See if we can get this elite down. The spinning projectile makes it kind of hard to focus damage, though. But I guess it's kind of just like a... Oh, we're running into damage. I guess it kind of just sweeps around, though, and makes sure you hit a bunch of enemies. We might need a movement speed upgrade, too. We also got a shard of refund, so say we picked a skill we didn't want, we could refund that with this shard of refund. But I'm fairly satisfied with the skills that we have. I would like a damage increase. I want a damage increase, and I also need a shard of conjunction so I can kind of streamline where we're going. Oh, speaking of the devil, increase projectile damage. Since we only got 1 point to spend, we'll take that. Yeah, I do like how not all the enemies are just running at you. Some of them actually have telegraphed attacks. A lot of these roguelites I've played, and I played a lot of them, are pretty low quality, low effort. This one is definitely up there with the high effort. Now, full disclosure, the devs did send me this game to check out. They sent me a key. So I went ahead and checked it out today, but that has not influenced my opinion on this game at all. I've had a lot of fun with it. This is probably my 8th run. I'd like to get some skills laid out on my dodge. Well, we'll get there. We'll get to the skills on the dodge. Let's increase our dodge mastery. We're just getting so many projectiles, it's hard to pass up. And then this opened up more over here. Increase projectile range. I'm good on the range. I just want more flat DPS. We got some elites doing their elite thing. These are big crab boys. Oh, okay, we dodged out of that. Yeah, I like the telegraphed attacks. The AoE attacks, clearly marked. It's rare that I get hit, and I feel like it was unfair. The hitboxes all seem pretty tight. And if we can get our damage up, and maybe even our attack speed up, we'll be able to spawn a lot more projectiles with that split on hit skill we picked up. Let's try to pick up this heart. Oh, I don't know what hit me there. There's a lot of people. I'm sure it was justified, though. I'm sure it was just... Oh, yeah, I saw that one. I ran right into it. There we go. Complete wave 10 with attack speed below 0.3. That unlocked a new melee skill. So as you play through with different builds, different weapons, different characters, you will unlock different weapons and different characters and different levels. So there's a lot of replayability. And we finally got the shard of conjunction. So let's start working on our dodge abilities. So if I use a shard of conjunction here, it will create a link between all 3 of these slots, which is perfect. Because now we're going to get scattering dodge. Your dodge throws 3 projectiles. Perfect. And we'll take more additional projectiles. We could also just increase our attack speed. That might not be a bad idea to just increase our attack speed a little bit. So let's do that. The faster we attack, the more projectiles we get out, the more crazy it is. Oh, we got hit. We got hit. Hold on. Let me get that health. Okay, I definitely do worse in this game when I'm recording because I'm trying to think of clever shit to say for you guys. And then I get hit. Let's see. Okay, so now you see when I dodge, if you watch. When I dodge, I shoot out projectiles. It's kind of hard to see because we're already shooting out a lot of projectiles, but trust me, we're doing it. And we got a lot more tokens that time. We're gonna have 3 elites next run. Let's see how we want to play this. I wish I had a link to connect this projectile too. Let's get Blazing Trail. I haven't used Blazing Trail before, but we're gonna pick that up because every time we dodge, we're gonna shoot out arrows and leave a trail of fire. I think that sounds pretty dang good. We could also work on getting fragmentation. When we defeat enemies, we will create 4 projectiles in a random direction. And also bursting shot won't be bad either. Your projectiles hit cause defeated enemies to explode. I just need more of these dang shards of conjunction to try to make it a cleaner process. Let's start working towards fragmentation and bursting shot. We have 8 rounds left, so we might be able to pull it off. We'll pick up another blazing trail so that we can work our way down here. But I love how this skill tree is randomly generated as you play through. It adds like a little puzzle level to it. Sometimes it could be a little bit frustrating if you're not getting the things you want, but in general, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Okay, these sword guys, these big knights, those guys get hits off on me all the time because their attack can do damage to you both on the wind up and the wind back. So be careful of that. But now you can see we're leaving a trail of fire everywhere. Now our dodge build is coming together. We shoot out projectiles and we leave fire. Here we go. Okay, you saw the elites are the ones that drop. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. We almost got killed. The elites are the ones that are going to drop those shards for us. Oh, run. I need more dodge. I need more dodge big time. Oh, that was close. I think for the time being, we'll take that health. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking some health. And we can take the fragmentation. Defeated enemies create 4 projectiles. Let's lean into that. Whew, we go through our dodge quick. I might have to pick up this dodge mastery next run too. I might have to get that. We got one more heart that spawns beginning of every level. Let's try to go pick that up. Okay, we got our heart. But yeah, the sprites in this game are really good looking too. The weapons can look a little awkward on the character. Like this flail looks a little weird, but it kind of goes with the overall style of the game. I'm trying not to use all of my, dang it. Try not to use all of my dodge so I can evade. That's a big guy right there. We got some big elites on screen. Oh no. Oh no. Don't let me die. I don't want to die. We got 4 seconds. We got 4 seconds. Come on. I'm going to need dodge. No! Oh, they got me. They got me. I was so sure we'd be able to get this run done. But they also have leaderboards here. So you can see I'm ranked 52 on the leaderboard for this run. They got us. But we did unlock a new ability called Melee Construct. So you can see here's the new ability we unlocked. This game can get pretty wild. I was very pleased with this game so far. It's a lot of fun. I did not do very well with Daroken, but I definitely did well with our melee run. And if I can get the range run together, if it's not together by wave 15, it's pretty much a done deal. But yeah, so this was Striving for Light Survival. It's currently available on the Steam store for $5. So if this looked like something you wanted to play, I would strongly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. And if you want to see me live stream this, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to get that happening for you guys. Well, until next one, see ya.